Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Turin here with another Warhammer Total War online commentary. In this latter battle, I'm going to be piloting the Beastmen with a various group of monsters and Chaos Spawn and Minotaurs and all kinds of fun stuff. So I decided to experiment and deviate a little away from the more popular compositions. So as far as my opponent goes, he is going to be playing the Vampire Count. So definitely a monster mash, and it should be a lot of fun, guys. As far as my front line goes, I have a front line of gore herds with shields. I feel like they're a pretty cost-effective front line. Decent stats, very low armor, but granted they are shielded. Fairly high leadership, mobile, and fairly decent stats across the board. So definitely can't complain about them for the amount that you're paying. Behind them, I have the best gore herds, which are definitely going to pack a little bit of punch. When I play greenskins, essentially these gore herds are playing the role of the biggins, and these guys are kind of like the black orcs back here. Behind them, I have the Big Papa, the Gore Bull. He's ready. He's ready to stomp some vampires, some zombies, some skeletons, all that fun stuff. And back here, I kind of just had some extra resources, so I got an Ungor herd. I kind of just wanted to use them as an auxiliary unit, and if there was any emergency situations or monstrous units that needed to be tied down, go ahead and send those bad boys in. Because again, there are 120 of them, so that's quite a bit of fodder. And I have a group of Minotaurs with great weapons. Very good against those not necessarily heavily armored, but they'll be good against units like Cryptors and other things like that, and also taking out his other, I think he has some other big monsters over there, I think like Vargeist or Vargulfs or something. And then here I have these Chaos Spawn. I just wanted to get them just for the sake of this replay. Pretty cool looking, and again they have that anti-infantry, they're unbreakable, so they're going to be pretty good at cutting through those squishy Vamp Counts infantry. And then, of course, the giant here. He's very, very cool looking. Kind of looks like some sort of a Xenagos. For any of you guys that play Magic the Gathering, he looks like he could be out of the Theros block. Very cool. And then, of course, I have Malagor the Dark Omen. I really like him as a lord. I love that particular lore of magic. I love the Devolve, the Traderkin, and the fact that you can summon a Cygor is nice because, hey, if you don't want to invest in a Cygor for the battle, just summon one. Why not? So, very cool. As far as his composition goes, it looks like he has something hidden back there. Let's see what it is. Some Hex Wraiths, which are very, very, very weak to devolve. And then he has Graveguard here. He has some Hex Wraiths back there. So, again, that heavy magic investment is very, very rough against Beastmen from what I've experienced myself. I've lost many games when playing as Vampire Counts against Beastmen. Graveguard here. He has another group of Graveguard here. He has a Master Necromancer. So this guy is... He's on his steed over here. He's got his pimp cane. He's ready to cause some trouble. Then he actually has a lot of Vargeists. So against Beastmen, I don't have a lot of weak units that he can harass with these, really. I mean, if he lands and fights any of my units, he's going to have trouble. Except maybe my Lord. That might be a good target for those to harass. He's got a group of Cryptors here, zombies, Graveguard, and Graveguard. So again, a very Graveguard-centric army with some flying harassment to really pack that punch. Some Cryptors. He's got two groups of those, as well as some Hex Wraiths. So we will see how that pans out. So without further ado, sorry for the long-winded intro, guys. Let's get started. So again, at this point, I couldn't see a lot of his units. As you can see, a lot of them were hidden here. So I thought there was some cheese going on. I thought he might just have a massive army of Vargeists and be hiding lords somewhere. I didn't know what the heck was happening. So I decided to just aggressively move up to find out. Because again, I don't have any necessarily units that are weak as a standalone unit, so I didn't really care about those flying units. I was like, all right, man, let's just get in there and see what I can find. So fast forwarded a little bit because there's a lot of feeling out in this game. He goes ahead and comes in with these units here, and again, I thought he was gonna have some sort of funny business coming on, but he's doing a pretty good job. These Hex Wraiths are coming out to flank. He does a feign here and pretends to harass on these Ungor Spearmen. He knocks a few of them over, but I think when he saw the Gore Bull there, he realized that was a really bad idea. Because that Gore Bull will absolutely demolish those Vargeists. So, again, I start to see his units here, and I got a little excited. Charged ahead with these Minotaurs. I was just eager to engage and didn't necessarily want these flying units flying over my head. I just wanted to get in there and get fisticuffs with this guy. So, again, he does land those bats in the back against the Ungor Spearmen, and I was completely fine with that. These are fodder units, and if they want to take the brunt of that, that's fine. So I pull back these two Bestigor herds to deal with them. But he wisely pulls them out. So he did kill, a fair amount of them, and he also brings in these Hex Wraiths. So definitely a concentrated attack here, but the Bestigor herds are very sturdy, and they should be able to hold their own. So, and he's also retreating in the jungle. So he's trying to get that maximum value out of that harass back there, but these bats are not feeling good. And I also got a devolve. As you can see, those Hex Wraiths are going down hard. So in this front line, we're about to engage. So I got my front line here, as well as these Minotaurs. So they're going to make quick work of those Graveguard. This is definitely a favorable matchup for me. I feel like I certainly have a superior melee line. This giant, I should not have had him wasting his time on zombies, but hey, it's still cool to see him get in there and yell at the guys and get his big club. I don't know what's taking him so long. Sometimes pathing can be a little weird on these big units, but regardless, I see these Hex Race over here, so I come over here right away. If I'm not mistaken, I cast Devolve on them, because you have to do that immediately. Let's see here. Yeah, I think the casting animation got tripped up, so regardless, I keep moving over there. I summoned a Cygor, and then I Devolve him. That's what my plan was, if I'm not mistaken. Looks like he's going any second now. Don't make me look stupid. Maybe that was just the Cygor being summoned, but... Oh, no, I used it on these Hex Race. That's what it was. So, again, the Bestigor herds are still dealing with that in the flank. And he does have all his zombies coming in here, which is fine. These Bestigors are going to be pretty good at holding up. And in my front line, I have my Chaos Spawn in here, and they're just going to tear up these Graveguard. I mean, they're anti-infantry and very tough and in pretty good health. So, and this Cygor then came in to help deal with these Vargeists as well. So definitely a very chaotic battle. He had a lot of stuff hiding in the jungle. He still has another group of Graveguard back there, so he's holding a lot in auxiliary, kind of just slowly playing his hand to see how I react so he can react accordingly. And again, he is doing a very good job with these Hex Race, getting good flanks, and I'm trying to cast Evolve every chance I get. And again, this giant is in here just doing his best, laying the beat down, and he's using the Curse of Years, so he seems to be using, rather than like Invocation and a Heck and things like that, which I think would have been pretty good, or against I'll use on these guys. He's using the unit augmentations or debuffs on me. And look at that devolve. Look how fast that takes out those Hex Race. And mind you, Hex Race are an extremely expensive unit. What are they, 1,500 resources? And to have them just destroyed by devolve, I mean, that's really, really brutal. So perhaps against Beastmen, maybe opt out of that. So he does pull in that reserve group of Graveguard to flank here. So I'm having a pretty tough situation here. I have a few groups of Bestigor herds here, but as you can see, this is predominantly his units, but thankfully the Cygor is very tough and we're able to hold them. Because in the front line, I just absolutely crumbled them. These Chaos Spawn and Minotaurs and Gore herds did pretty well. And I also was able to win pretty heavily over here. Again, that giant in there just laid the beat down. So I just decided to leave these guys. It's not a worthy investment, and the most of his army's here, so I needed to get my troops over there ASAP. Over here, did pretty good. These Minotaurs are just absolute monsters. These Vargeists are tough units, but again, they should be used more for harassing and you know, and flanking, and you don't want them engaged perpetually with these Minotaurs who are just going to have their way with the remnants of these Graveguard who are now crumbling. And as you can see over here, Vargeists are leaving, and this is not where you want to be with the Beastmen. Just all these giant creatures just laying the beat down on you, the beast down. And you can see the big hammer there. The rock didn't quite get through that guy. Let's see, he's using some funny business here. Let's see. Yeah, he's using the Curse of Years. He's been using that all game to lower my melee attack. But again, I think there was Invocation and a Heck might have been a little bit better, especially on these Hex Wraith units who've just been taking a beating this entire game. And Malagor is again, very good. Thankfully, these Minotaurs are coming to clean up shop. And when these guys get back, it's just going to be game over for the rest of these units. These guys are very tough. And to have two monstrous units just crushing through your Crypt Horrors, different things like that, Malagor emerging unscathed. He's still in really, really good health here. So that Master Necromancer definitely had a bad time falling off his steed there. But and Devolve is so good. And you know what really that guy's downfall was the fact that the Devolve just annihilated those Hex Wraiths, because those are big investments. Like for that amount, you could get like 3 or 4 groups of Crypt Horrors, another group of Graveguard. You know, you can really do a lot more with your army. So they are a big investment. And against that Devolve, it's just tough. It's really tough. So as far as my army breakdown, the Gorbel did very well. Malagor did good. These Spearmen they kind of took the brunt of those Vargeists, which was good. I'd rather they take it than another unit. The Gore herds did quite well. This Minotaur group didn't rack up as many kills as I would have, not Minotaur, excuse me, the Bestigors. But they were, again, fighting Graveguard and Crypt Horrors and other things like that. So Chaos Spawn did pretty good for themselves. They were still in good health. They fought there till the end. And the Giant, I don't know, if he was probably the worst investment. He kind of just stood there and beat down some zombies. But at that end fight, he was really good at clearing up the last of those Crypt Horrors and other creatures that he had left. And again, the Minotaurs are just so good. I probably should have just gotten another group of Minotaurs and then perhaps another fodder group. So as far as his army goes, the Graveguard definitely paid dividends. You see, again, if he didn't have these X-Rays and had a few more groups of these Graveyards with great weapons to help deal with my big units, might have been a little better for him. So anyways, really good game to Denya. Look forward to seeing you again on Ladder. And thank you all for watching, guys. Really appreciate the support. Have a great night.